Step into the stream, let's have some fun. Mrs. Sassy's here, we've only just begun. It's a Sassy Sunday stream. Like and subscribe and share it out to your team. You love a sassy vibe, Mrs. Sassy Sunday stream. Turn up the sound, dancing around and dancing in the fire. All gather round, Mrs. Sassy Sunday stream. Like and subscribe and share it out to your team. You love a sassy vibe.
Well, hello and welcome to Mrs. Sassy Sunday Stream, episode 61. I always have to check in the corner to figure out what number of stream I'm on. Anyway, I know, Dempsey, every time that music hits, every time, or as the kids say, that music slaps. So Dempsey made that intro music for me, and it sticks in my head for like the entire week. It like sets my work week up. So thank you so much for the music again. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys are all well today. I was going to come on here and complain about the extensive heat wave Arizona is having right now. So yesterday we hit 117 degrees. On September 28th, we were 21 degrees above normal. Like, I can't tell you. I got to get in the light a little bit more. There. Oh, look. And here I am. Wow, that was interesting. I guess I just have to shimmy over here. Do I want to be half dark, half? I don't know. What do I want? Look at that. It's the ring light. I don't know. Anyway, so 21 degrees above normal yesterday. We hit a record since like 1935. And like I said, I was going to come on here and complain about the heat. And then I remembered that there was a ton of people affected in Florida and Atlanta with the hurricane. So I'm not going to complain. That would be rude for me to complain about heat when people lost their lives during a hurricane. So, but still, I digress. It's going to be October on Tuesday, and it's still hot as hell. Anyway, that's that. What else is going on? The floors, you can see, they're still ugly. Which way? There we go. Oh my God, I'm so terrible at this. Anyway, the floors are still ugly. A week from tomorrow, the product gets dropped off this week so it can sit in the temperature of our house and get used to everything. And then the project starts a week from tomorrow. So I'm very excited for that. We're not sure about streams. Mine should be fine the following Sunday. Cannoli's that Monday, he's supposed to do bone tomahawk, and he's got some things set up for like backups just in case. So anyway, let's see. Let's say hi to the chat, and then we'll get started. We're going to do a deep dive. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Say hi to the chat, and then I have a little announcement. So Dempsey, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Zax, thank you. I know you are traveling and you get to go see Nadia. I'm very jealous. I hope you enjoy your trip. Let's see. Yeah, what the diddly damn hell did he do now? Please tell. Yeah, I actually have, and we're going to try to get through it, but Kim Porter's book, that Kim Porter, if you don't know, was Pitty's, we're going to call him Pitty, P. Diddy's longtime girlfriend. I don't know if they were ever married. They have a couple kids together, and she supposedly wrote a book. I'm not 100% sure if it was written by her. There's a lot of speculation that It wasn't written by her, but the details, you guys, are just so specific. It's a little crazy. So I'm going to have you guys give me your opinion on whether or not you think that she wrote this. The details are too specific. They're too specific. But I found somebody who did like a deep dive into Kim Porter's book, and it's really disturbing. Corey, good to see you. Jacob, good to see you. Yeah, the P can stand for a few different things. It's funny because in the indictment, they indicted him under like 5 different names, and we'll go over those too. Oh, I'm here. I'm not late, but I'm still gay. Josh, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm always happy to see you here. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, today's going to be interesting. We're kind of going to stick with one subject. I have a couple of other things, but this P. Diddy thing has been really, really interesting. Especially like they're not really talking about the stuff in Kim Porter's book. So we're going to go into that. Let's see. Oh, Black Lives. Why didn't I just say hi to you? I read your comment. Did I even say hi to you? Well, hello. Thank you for coming by. Jana Banana, I'm out shopping, so I can't hear you, but hi. Hi, Jana, and sup, boners. Yes, Mike, I did see that too. Zachary Levi endorsed Trump. So Cannoli was like, I told him, and he goes, well, there goes his acting career. And, you know, I really hope that he doesn't get punished in Hollywood because he is supporting Trump. Listen, it's you should be able to politically back whoever you want and not be punished for it. We've been getting rain finally. My grass is starting to grow. Dude, we need rain so bad. We need rain so bad here. It is so dry. It just makes you feel awful. And our allergies are all up in arms. Anyway, but hi, Mike. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Left Eye Ego, good to see you. Good to see you. Hi, Little Miss Anonymous. I'm ready for October. I'm going to paint my nails glitter orange. I'll be doing Inktober. I plan on doing Maggie's. Oh, you need to post a picture of that on Twitter if you can. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. I am so ready for October as well. But it's so hard here. Okay, so like we have a heat advisory until October 3rd, I want to say. And right now it's 107 degrees and it's only noon here. Like this is July temperatures, June, July temperatures. It's awful. It's awful. You know what? Dandy, I agree, but Dandy hasn't posted anything new. We're lacking on the Dandy content, and I'm really sorry, but I have somebody else that isn't fun, but that's disturbing. So I tried to find something. But good to see you guys here. I appreciate it. Let's see. The hurricane is still circling over my state right now. We got crushed over here, but I am blessed. Oh my gosh, that's right. I forget where everybody is located, but everybody who's out there affected by the hurricane, I'm glad you're safe. I know Jana and Copa got hit pretty hard. They're okay, but the surrounding areas, you know, got hit really, really hard. So I'm really hoping everybody is okay. So before we get started, I just wanted to tell you guys, I started a new channel. I announced it yesterday. So I don't know if you guys have Filmora, but that is what we use to edit all of our videos. Cannoli uses it regularly to cut his trailers for his MMM shows. And so Filmora had a big update yesterday. Oh, thank you. Yes, please. Yeah, that would be great. Or DM me or something on Twitter. That would be awesome. I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. Hey, Roman, good to see you. I hope you are well today. I hope you're well. I'm sure it's hot where you are too. San Diego's been pretty hot as well. It's just, we're in a heat wave over here in the West. So Filmora had an update yesterday. You can pay $20 to update Filmora whenever they offer an update, you can pay $20 and you can, what's it called? Do the update. So the update yesterday, provided a program where you can just download your entire stream and it will pull out shorts for you that they think would work best for a short. Instead of you having to go through it, figure out yourself, it gives you like I think it was like 5 different shorts yesterday, and then it ranks it for you on like the most popular to the least popular, so you can choose. So we upgraded yesterday. It's like $20 every time they have an upgrade. And so I decided that, and there was another program that Vex and Nadia told me about, but when you're sharing it with somebody else, it only gives you a certain, what is going on here? It only gives you a certain amount of like hours to use or something. And with Cannoli and I sharing it, it wouldn't, we'd have to buy 2 memberships or 2 subscriptions, and it was kind of expensive. So we decided to try this Filmora thing. So I started a new channel yesterday for my shorts. And if you haven't subscribed already, most of you have been so kind on subscribing, and I appreciate it. It's called Sassy Snippets. And basically, it's just going to have, like, I put my first short on there yesterday about Ryan Murphy's monsters is disgusting. I got 2 comments already telling me I'm an idiot. So, that's great. It's making its way to people, right? So it's Sassy Snippets. And the way that I had to do it is Sassy_snippets. Because Sassy Snippets was taken. How dare they? So if you would like, I would love a sub to this channel. What I'm trying to do is get more eyes on this channel. And so I've created this little snippet channel of my Sunday shows to try to get people into the main channel. So I'm going to, like, for instance, after today's show, I'm going to fire up the laptop and then download this stream and then see what clips they want to pick out, and then I'll upload it. So we'll see how it works. Let's see. It looks like Filmora still has a little bit of kinks to iron out. So yesterday, okay, so it went fine on one stream, and then we tried to do another stream that was about 3 hours when I had Vex and Nadia on, and it wouldn't work. So I don't know if they have to iron out some things. I'm not sure. Anyway, so subscribe to Sassy Snippets. I should probably, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to paste it here. Dempsey, would you mind? Oh, can I do that? Why? See, it's so funny. Like I can't pin my own comment from here, which is super weird. So Dempsey, if you are still here, you're a mod. Can you pin that comment to the top for me? My link there. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's kick off the show. We don't have anything from Dandy today, but we do have some Gorlock for you. Hold on one second. Oh gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know if I can play the music. I don't want to get dinged for it. So let's see what the music is first. But here you go. This is Gorlock dressing up for you. You're unable to pin comments. I must have not given you appropriate modding. Hold on a second. Appropriate modding duties. All right, hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Hold on. There we go. Well, let me see, Dempsey. Wait, how do I? It doesn't let me change your duties. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm under my wrong account. See, now that I have 2 accounts, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, hold on. Thanks. Just a moment. There we go. Hold on, kids. Hold up. Wait a minute. Come on, comments. All right, where's Dempsey? Hi, Alec Baldwin's finger. Yes, I want to torture you guys. I wish I had remove as managing moderator. No, I want to make you a different moderator. I'm going to have to look at that later. I don't know what the heck happened. All right, so I'm going to pin this comment to the top. Pin message. There we go. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to probably torture you a little bit here. I didn't have anything from Dandy. I'm so sorry. Hi, good to see you, Pet Brett. Sassy Snip sounds like a good name for a vasectomy provider. So the funny thing is that that's what Jana was like, name it Sassy Snips, because that is like you snip your genitalia when you want to have a transgender procedure. So it's kind of funny. When she said it like that, I'm like, that is absolutely perfect. Mods can't pin comments on YouTube. Interesting. That's really weird. Carly, good to see you. This is Gorlock. This is a transgender person. And they made their debut on the Whatever podcast. And I don't have Dandy today, but we're gonna give you a little runway show from Gorlock. All right, I think I'm gonna mute it because I don't want to get hit for music, but you guys just make whatever music in your head you want. Look at this. Oh, see right there. Right there. I'm going to have to save this. And if Flaccid shows up, we're going to do a smash or pass because look, we got the dumper for Flaccid. We got the dumper. So this is a male to female, if you will. Oh, here, let's see. They're going to talk.
Together right now. So like, I'm just so happy. And like, I have literally nothing else to say. This is incredible.
Why are we glorifying that? Like, that's just disgusting. Disgusting. That is just disgusting. Oh gosh, you guys. You know what? I'm thinking. I think. Oh, that was Cantina band music. Okay. Oh, I think he would too. Anyway, thanks so much, you guys, for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay. Song in my head. I'm fat. Exactly. Oh, you guys, wait a minute. Okay. Everybody, if you're not sitting down, take a seat. I found Cake Pop's OnlyFans page. Now, I am not going to subscribe and look at the content, but I found the page that you would go to subscribe, and the description of their OF page is disgusting. Okay. So also, I don't think that Cake Pops is really concentrating on their TikTok anymore. They've lost a tremendous amount of subs. They haven't gone live in probably a month and a half, and that used to be their bread and butter. So I'm thinking that they're doing OnlyFans. They are putting out certain clips of like they'll react to like voice messages that they're getting of asking them how to handle certain things. But are you guys ready? I don't think you're ready. I warned you. This is your warning. I warned you. Here we go. So there's their picture up at the top, and it says, "Fancy seeing you here. I love posting my body and can't wait for you to see me." Yeah. You'll see a lot of my boobs, booty, and girl dick, and lots of videos on my main feed. No PVV. So this is what our tranny friend here is doing. This is what Cake Pop is doing. I can only imagine what this picture looks like behind the smiley face. And the description itself. Okay, so here's, if you guys want to pay, you can pay. Oh, look, we're having a summer sale. 15% off for 30 days. So regular price is $8.99 a month. Or you can do 3 months at 15% off for $22.92. Yeah, this is really, really concerning. Anyway, I almost want to do like 1 month, you guys, just to see what is happening on. I wouldn't pay one red cent either, but I almost want to like dive in. Now, I couldn't show it to you guys, so it would not even pay for me to do it because it wouldn't be appropriate content. It wouldn't even be appropriate content if you did. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even, I couldn't even talk about it. I couldn't show you. I could talk about it, but I couldn't show you. So what's the point? Oh, Alec Baldwin, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. That equals like $100 super chat. Thank you so much. You are so kind. I don't know how you do this with everybody. You are far too generous. And just so you guys know, Alec Baldwin saved the day, because when he sends a huge gift like this is what you get.
Oh, hello, darlings. It is I, Dandy. And I'm here to tell you that, hey, Dandy, don't say it. You always say this, but it's true. You're gay. Yes, you are. You are gay as the day is long, and you are beautiful.
I can't thank you enough. You are far too kind, and you make it worth doing this. I appreciate you. You have helped me and my family more than you know. So thank you so very much. And it's always a pleasure to see you here. He never misses. I'll give you $5 if you put your clothes on and go away. Absolutely. If you have body dysmorphia, you wouldn't want to show your body. He's a fetishist. I can't speak this evening today. Maybe I should start drinking. I know he does. And I am absolutely super grateful for it. I don't even have the words. There are no words. Like, how can you express gratitude with just a couple of words? You can't. I don't know how. I don't know how. It's just too much. Like, I get verklempt every single time. I got to find that clip where it says I'm verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Green beans and molasses talk. Did you guys ever see that on Saturday Night Live, or am I just too old? Oh, thank God Dandy is here to cleanse my soul of the cake pop atrocity. I know, we do love our cake pop. Look at you. Look at you, Whitey. $3.50. Baldwin finger blasted us again. Bless it. You know which one I love to give you. Hold on one second. Because you are...
I'm your huckleberry.
You're my huckleberry, Whitey. So thank you so much. You are far too kind. I appreciate you. Let's see. English is out the window. See it right there. Oop, I jumped by. Oh gosh, you guys, I love you. Okay, so Cake Pop has a OnlyFans page, and it's disgusting. And I think that's where they're putting all of their time and energy right now, and just not subjecting themselves to regular TikTok. So, all right, we're going to jump right into this Puff Daddy situation. I'm sure everybody knows what is going on with P. Diddy and why he was arrested. I do have a 6-part series of a girl on TikTok who did read the Kimporter book and gives a lot of detail from it. So I figured we would go through it a little bit. It's really, really interesting. I don't know if, listen, I'm a girl of a certain age where I grew up, like in high school, P. Diddy was at the peak. Like, you had Biggie and Tupac and Biggie and Mace, or I'm sorry, Puff Daddy and Mace, 112, Little Kim. Like, I was trying, I have it, but I just didn't pull it out for the stream today. But I went to the Puff Daddy and the Family concert back in 1997. I bought a hoodie. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, I absolutely loved all of them. So for this to come out, like, I can't say that I'm surprised, but yet you know, when you're surprised, but you're not at the same time, you can't even believe the stuff that you're hearing. But then you're like, well, it's Hollywood and everybody is batshit crazy. So basically, this was the indictment right here. Okay. And what I think is funny is that he was indicted under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names. 5 names. Dirty Jersey, I apologize if I didn't say hi to you. I think I read your comment, but good to see you. Even in the 90s, there was something about Diddy I didn't like. He seemed like a sleazeball. Maybe might be my street sense. You know what? I kind of think so. You know, he always had this weird, like, power hungry attitude, but not in such a good way. I just thought when Diddy started dating J-Lo, I thought that was really, really weird. But there's so many connections here, you guys. There's so many, like, there's even a weird connection with Brittany Murphy. Okay, so let's dive into it. So, first of all, the fact that you have to be indicted under like 6 names, So Sean Combs was his legal name, the name he was born with, which to me is like the whitest name ever. I think it's funny. Also known as Puff Daddy, also known as P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, also known as PD, and also known as Love. Okay, so those are all the names that he was indicted under. Okay, anything that, and somebody that changed their name several times, it's almost like, what are they running away from? His name, Puff Daddy, should have been a giveaway that some freaky was going on. Yeah. Yes, and I'm going to tell you the connection. The connection is weird. Like, I never thought about it until I was talking to a friend at work about the things in Kim Porter's book. Didn't Whitey date J-Lo for a bit? What? Diddy, you mean? Well, Diddy did. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to read the first two paragraphs and then we're going to get into, hi, Gord King, listening for very busy day that is thankfully almost through. Yeah, I heard work has been kind of crazy for you, my friend. So thank you so much for listening. I hope I can entertain you. We're going to get into some crazy stuff right now. I was going to read the Kim Porter book, but this girl did a really good breakdown for us. Okay, so the what am I saying? Oh, so the indictment: for decades, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, PD, and Love, the defendant, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. To do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he had controlled. He led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members are associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among others, crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstetrics and gynecology. No, that's not it. That's what I work in. Obstruction of justice. Okay, so that's just a couple of things. He basically used his businesses in LA and New York to conduct all of these things. Diddy always struck me as a wannabe gangster, but was more of a half-assed racketeer. I didn't know how much of a disgusting scumbag was. I know, same. Okay, so these are long. We're going to try to get through them, you guys. I wouldn't do this if they weren't incredibly interesting. I sat one night and listened to all 7 parts of this. It's insane, the things. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. So Kim Porter was with Diddy for many, many years. Okay, this lady will give you a kind of a background of Kim Porter, where she came from, how they got together. But what is interesting is within the last few days, Diddy and Porter had 3 kids together, and the kids are coming out saying that Porter never wrote this book, that it's all like made up. And, you know, there's a lot of controversy on whether or not the words came from her. Somebody knows something. Regardless of whether or not Kim Porter wrote this book, the details are frightening. Also, she mysteriously died after writing this book. It wasn't published, but there was evidence that this book was written. Okay. So it's just all very weird. You guys can make your own opinions. At this point, if you see people hanging out with the Hollywood folk outside of work, you can safely bet that they disgusting. Yeah. Okay. So listen to this real quick. We're going to try to run through this quick. I'm not going to pause a lot unless it's really, really disgusting, but this girl did such a good job on giving us all the information. Here we go.
I read Kim.
Oh, hang on a second. Okay. The volume's all the way up, you guys. You might want to raise your volume on your end because it's pretty low and you don't want to miss it. I think there's subtitles on here.
Porter's tell-all book on Sean P. Diddy Combs, so you don't have to, and I'm going to paraphrase it for you. Kim grew up in Georgia, and after high school, she started getting modeling jobs, and she knew that she had to get out of Georgia if she was going to make it big, so she moved to the West Coast, I'm assuming to LA. This is where she met her husband, Al. So he was in the industry. They fell in love. They got married at 19, and she immediately had a child named Quincy. She really loves this guy. It didn't work out. They did get divorced, but they stayed really good friends, and he's someone that's still very near and dear to her. Then she meets Sean Combs while they're both working at the Uptown label. He's starting to be up and coming, but he's not like huge yet, and he is super into her. He's making advances. She's kind of like, all right, he's cool. I think they go on a couple of dates, but it doesn't become.
Hi, Zax. Good to see you. I hope you're having safe travels. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate you.
Serious, no big deal. But then they run into each other at an event, and he's putting on the charm. He's sitting down next to her, and he's like, you look amazing. And she's like, oh my God, thanks. And he's like, we should get dinner. And she's like, no. And then he's like, oh, Kim, I think I'm falling in love with you. And she's like, okay. So then they end up going to dinner. Something must have happened after their first couple of dates, because in the book she says he's begging for a second chance and she gives it to him, but she doesn't say what happened. So then they end up dating for real. Like they're together for like 1.5 years at this point. At one point she's referencing how he comes up to her and he's like, please, can you do it for me again? And it's alluding to pegging him. He's like, please, I want.
She said pegging him. If you guys missed that, he was asking Kim to peg him.
You to do that to me again. And she's kind of like, Sean, no, like, I don't want to do that again. And then she kind of makes a sly comment because he's like, oh, like
I have to pause just to say hi to my favorite friend, not one of my favorite friends, Nadia. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good day.
I want you to blank me like that again. And then she goes, isn't Clive the one blanking you? Clive Davis, implying that Clive is blanking him. And then he slaps her hard. And before she can even react, he's like on the floor being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She ends
off topic. She looks like the female version of that base gay dude, Sassy Show. Yes, he does. She does. I know for sure. Yeah, you're right.
up leaving, and he keeps like sending flowers and gifts to her house, and she's like, no, I don't want anything to do with you. But then they run into each other at an event again. He comes up to her, she's like, get away from me. And then he sits her down and he's like, no, you know I love you, nothing's gonna keep us apart, I love your son, like your son is my son, blah blah blah. And that like gets her, because she's like, okay, he is really good with my son. And so she then turns and looks at him and she's like, okay, let's get coffee. She literally says in the book, what the fuck is wrong with me? Girl, don't blame yourself. Then Sean comes to her house for their like reuniting date. He's got flowers. He's like being super good with the kid. Although she does make a note that like he tapped the kid on the butt, like smacked his butt. Weird. He calls a babysitter for them. They go out. The driver is named Gene and he's got a weapon on him, and Kim like sees it and she's kind of like, that's weird. And she says like, I'm going to see this guy a lot more I'm going to see this guy Gene a lot more throughout my life. They go out, they have a fun night. I think it kind of involves sexy things.
Hi, Shieldwald. Good to see you. You're just in time. We're doing a deep dive into the Diddy scandal. So thanks for hanging out.
Chapter 5, she says the year passed pretty well. They didn't have any problems, but then Sean is getting into voodoo and he's putting curses on people. Okay. This is where Mary J. Blige enters the chat. So I guess he starts working with her and then he admits that he's actually hooked up with her. And so Kim gets pissed, but then he suggests, hey, why don't.
So right then, Diddy has hooked up with Mary J. Blige while he's dating Kim Porter.
We have a threesome, the three of us. And Kim's kind of like, I mean, she is pretty. I don't know. So they end up having a threesome.
So Kim, Mary J. Blige, and oh, I know. You know what? I haven't either. She posted something on X a while back, and I said, I hope all is well. And she goes, working on it. I'll have to fill you in. So yeah, I know. I haven't seen her either. I miss her. She's a good one. Okay. So at this point, Mary J. Blige, Kim Porter, and Diddy are having threesomes.
And she's like, I don't know, like Mary J. Blige is super beautiful. I'm not into women, but exploring my sexuality was enticing. So whatever. Over the years, they brought many other women into their bedroom. So they were kind of like, they were open. One day she comes home and Al, her ex-husband, is at the kitchen table with her boyfriend, Sean, which is super awkward. And she's like, okay, this is weird. And she says, you know, the awkwardness between all of us had passed a long time ago, but it's still weird that the two of them are hanging out in my home, like her ex-husband and her current boyfriend and the father of her son, you know? And then after they've been drinking, Al is kind of like, you know, we've all been together, just like not together. Like we've all been together, but not at the same time. And she's kind of like, the fuck do you mean? And then Sean and him are kind of like, encouraging her to have a threesome with them. And she's kind of like, first of all, this is crazy. And also like, what if it goes weird? And like, what about my son? But also I do kind of love both of you. And like, it could be fun. Like, I don't know. So she's like, all right, let's do it. And then as it's happening, it's alluded in the book.
Okay. So at this point, she's having a threesome with her ex-husband and Diddy. Okay.
It's X'd out, but it's pretty clear. The threesome becomes a twosome between Sean and Al. And she's kind of like, what the fuck? So she freaks out and leaves.
Oh, you know what? 100%. My Cannoli, huge Wu-Tang fan. Huge. Hi, James. Good to see you. Good to see you. So at this point now, Diddy and Al, the ex-husband, are having some great interactions and kick Kim to the side. Hi, Matt, this is your other account, isn't it? Or is this your sister? Good to see you either way.
And Sean's like, babe, come back. It's like totally cool. Like, don't even worry. And you kind of gather that like maybe this isn't the first time that they've done this. And she's weirded out by this. She couldn't look at him the same for a while. It's strange. And also at this point, she mentions she found a vault where he kept all of his encounters with men on video.
Okay, so keep that in mind. She found a vault with all his encounters with men on videotape. Okay. Part number two. Dude, this was like so shocking when I first listened to it. That's why I had to share it. Oh my God. Huge Wu-Tang fan. Are you kidding? Huge. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Part two.
This is where Biggie and Tupac get mentioned. So
real quick, I cannot even believe the stuff that I heard about Biggie and Tupac. Now, I was East Coast rap versus West Coast. Not that I didn't like Tupac, but when I first met Cannoli, he introduced me to all of the East Coast rap. Okay. And I just got into it. It just, I don't know. So I was major Biggie East Coast rap at the time. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, for sure. But are you verklempt? Yes, I'm verklempt. I gotta find that clip from Saturday Night Live. Okay, here we go.
Biggie has taken over East Coast hip hop, and then Sean is basically orchestrating everything in the industry. Like he's got people helping write rap lyrics. He's got people helping produce beats.
No. Don't worry about it. Just listen. You have to listen to what I think it's in this part here. He wasn't going for that shit. Just listen. It was very interesting.
And he's working with people who are like deciding who's going to be the next it person. And Sean is sleeping with a lot of people, including very powerful men within the industry. She says like the names that are like, they would blow your mind if you knew some of these names. And also a lot of people you've never heard of, but that are really important in the industry. She also says he started hosting parties with fancy names, which were basically just a way to have orgies. When she met Tupac, her and Sean were...
You know what? That is interesting. Is this the part where you find out it was actually Diddy who gave Eazy-E AIDS? I would not be surprised. The stuff that you're going to hear. Okay, let's go back. Listen to this part real quick. Here we go.
Which were basically just a way to have orgies. When she met Tupac, her and Sean were in an open relationship, and she liked Tupac, so they would hook up a lot. Her and Tupac would sleep together.
So now Diddy's girlfriend, who were on again, off again, Kimporter, is now hooking up with Tupac.
But then one day things take a turn because she's hanging out and Tupac is there and Sean is there.
Okay, this is where it gets really gross and just really like Diddy just can't. He just can't. Oh shit. Hold on. Sorry, kid.
Tupac's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, she is. Tupac would sleep together. But
okay,
Tupac would sleep together. But then one day things take a turn because she's hanging out and Tupac is there and Sean is there and he knows that they've hooked up and he basically turns to Tupac and he's like, my baby's bad, right? And Tupac's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, she is. And Kim's kind of like, like, and then Sean's like, who do you think is better? Like, who do you think is like better at doing it to her? And Tupac's kind of like, bro, what? And he's like, let's find out, like, who's better. Like, I bet my blank is bigger than yours. And Tupac's like, what the fuck? And Kim's also like, dude, what the fuck? Super disrespectful. And he's like, yeah, let's see right now. Like, let's see who can make her blank the fastest. And like, it seemed like Tupac then says, like, are you about to take your shit out right now? And like, it's just bad. Kim's pissed because she's like, you're disrespecting me. Tupac's pissed because he's like, First of all, this is awkward. Second of all, I told you 100 times, like, I'm not into you. Sean kept like making advances. Tupac's, I'm not gonna hook up with you, and this is awkward. So he leaves.
So Tupac basically had to tell Diddy that I'm not gay, I'm not going down that road, knock it off, stop with the advances. Just stop already. And it's funny that you say this too. Ice Cube was on stage the other night and very clearly told the audience he has never gone to one of Diddy's parties. He wanted everybody to know.
He's pissed. Kim's pissed. So then things are very contentious between Sean and Tupac. Like, they avoid each other. He's actually now avoiding Kim as well. So like, he wants nothing to do with either of them, and there's just tension between them. She even said like there was a couple of times where it seemed like someone was going to throw a punch. And then she says one day she walks into the studio in the morning and she overhears.
Dude, this is where it gets, this girl right here, she's just a regular TikTok person. I wanted to know about the Kimporter book that just came out, that was just released. And this girl did a 6-part breakdown of everything that was in the book. So she's just some random TikToker, but out of all the things that I saw, she explained it really, really well. And there's so much shit in this book that I really wanted to hear about. So she's just explaining it to us. Yeah, I know. Ice Cube does seem like a good dude. Keeps his head on straight. Okay, you guys, yes, this is basically a book report. Absolutely. That is correct. I could have done the book report for you, but I was going to get the book and read it, but she did such a good job that I'm like, I'm just going to let her tell the story. You guys, this is the part that like blew me away because I don't know I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought about the Biggie Tupac murders. I really don't know. I thought that they had a hand in killing each other, but I think what she says is that Tupac and Biggie were going to start a label together, if I'm not mistaken, and that freaked Diddy out. But listen to this part. Listen to this part.
And then she says one day she walks into the studio in the morning and she overhears the conversation. Sean is having a conversation with who she calls Jimmy the henchman. And what she hears him say is, and I quote, "Pac don't leave that fucking studio alive." And then she says, "I don't think I was meant to hear that." So she just continues like she didn't hear that. And she's like, "Oh, good morning, guys. I'm ordering breakfast. What do you want?" They place their little orders, like, right? And she definitely heard it. And as this Jimmy guy is leaving the studio, he says to Sean, "Great, let's make that happen." So like, confirmed. And he says, "I'll make the call." I'm going to read this part verbatim because I think it's important. "I wasn't in the studio the night Pac survived being shot. Thank God. From what I understand, Sean and Chris saw Pac at the studio after he'd been shot and did."
Chris is a Biggie. His name is Chris Wallace, right? I believe, if you guys.
Nothing. The way God works. After being shot, Pac made it to the elevator and tried to escape, but it stopped at the floor that Sean and Chris were on. When the doors opened, they saw him lying on the elevator floor, riddled with bullets. The fact that they didn't call an ambulance, although they saw that Pac was sitting there lying, swimming in a pool of his own blood, would be all the evidence Pac ever needed. He, of course, assumed that they placed the hit, and Tupac is a soldier, but this is not something that will be unanswered. Tupac didn't do well. He lost a testicle, but he survived. She says it was orchestrated and Sean Puffy Combs was the orchestrator. At this point, she knows she's got to get out. So one night they go to a dinner at a restaurant and it's like really fancy. It's the two of them. It's public. And so she was thinking this would be a good time to break up with him. But as he walks into the restaurant, he's on the phone with someone. She doesn't know who he's on the phone with, but she hears him say this: "We're going to release Who Shot Ya now." So they had a song called Who Shot Ya, and he's intentionally releasing it, and it's going to be B.I.G. making the song. Of course, they're going to think B.I.G. was talking about Pac. That's the whole point. Nobody would give a fuck about a diss track against LL fucking Cool J. Do you know how much money we're going to make with this kind of rap beef? So he knowingly put the hit on Tupac and then knowingly encouraged a song from B.I.G. that would make it look like it was him that did it so we can make money off of it. And then she's like, okay, maybe now is not the best time to break up with him. And as he's getting off the phone, he says, "We drop that shit tomorrow. There's going to be blood in the street. Blank, they missed. Pac's alive. Let's capitalize on that shit." When he responds, it's just going to mean more money. He gets off the phone and she doesn't look very happy. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing." But like, she was intimate with Tupac. She liked him. So she's like, this is not good. And he's like, "Oh, are you sure you're fine?" She's like, "Yeah," but she's like, Sean's not stupid. So she's like pretending that she's cool, but he can tell that something's wrong. So as she's saying like, "Yeah, I'm fine," he takes her hand and he squeezes it until it hurts. And he says, that's wonderful, because seeing you walk in the office while I was talking about killing that MF and you not saying shit to me had me just a little bit concerned. And he's squeezing her hand so bad that it hurts. She's like, you're hurting me. And then he keeps squeezing and he's like, you're pretending you didn't hear anything was a sign of your loyalty to me, not something I should be concerned about, right? And so she said she had no choice but to say what he wanted. And she was like, yeah. And so he let go and he's like, good. And then he says, remember, I'm the big D. And then he's like, great, let's have wine. And it's at this moment that she realizes she's trapped.
100%. They always do. Okay, next part. It gets even more insane. Your browser lost connection to your audio share. Try sharing your screen again. All right, hold on. We're gonna do this again just to make sure that we didn't lose the audio. Hold on a second. Okay. Here we go. Part 3.
Like I usually do. First of all, I'm also interested. And second of all, every person's summary that I've seen online has just been either too slow or like just like not all encompassing. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do it myself. So that's why. It's at this point she says Sean has a bad temper.
She was explaining the fact that her content is usually like a travel content. And she was just so enamored by this that she felt like she wanted to tell this story because every other person out there telling the story just didn't get it right or were too slow. So she wanted to do it for us. That's what she was saying.
He yells sometimes. He's roughed me up a couple of times,
right,
but he's never.
Let's go back real quick.
Seen online has just been either too slow or like just like not all encompassing. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do it myself. So that's why. It's at this point she says Sean has a bad temper. He yells sometimes. He's roughed me up a couple of times, but he's never like bruised her. And he's never put a hand on Quincy, her son. She says, at that time, I never thought of him touching Quincy in any way, which makes me nervous for what's to come in this book. And then she's starting to think like, wait, is this all because he's jealous of Tupac? And then she goes on to say, the last time he put his hands on me, it was because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much.
Okay, did you hear that? Last time Diddy roughed up Kim Porter is because she enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. But think about it. These people all talk about gangbanging and rolling through the hood strapped up. Thugs are ending people. Yeah, I know. You have a good point. Absolutely.
But she says, well, he enjoyed him too.
Okay, so did he enjoy Jamie Foxx as well? Okay.
He's like, he gets so jealous. Like Sean gets so jealous. So then a third person joins them at dinner.
So when do we get the story of how Diddy diddled the Menendezbrothers in that new docudrama? God, I would not be surprised.
And it's Sean Carter.
Oh,
and then
wait,
she says,
hold on, you guys. You know who Sean Carter is? Jay-Z, right? Listen.
So jealous. So then a third person joins them at dinner, and it's Sean Carter. And then she says, the Seans may share a bed together from time to time, but thankfully I was never asked to join.
So, oh, good. Thank you so much, Dempsey. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy your show. So basically what she just said is that the two Seans would share a bed. So Jay-Z and P. Diddy would share a bed.
And then Sean Carter, Jay-Z, is like, oh, I thought we were meeting in private. And P. Diddy's like, oh, I wanted to discuss something with her. It's fine. Go ahead. Yada, yada. And then Jay-Z says that it's true. Biggie and Tupac were about to launch their own label together.
See, there you go. They were going to launch their own label together. And Diddy knew that if they launched their own label together, that would be the end of Bad Boy Records. Because wasn't that the record company that Diddy started, Bad Boy Records? Regardless, you take Biggie, who was the hottest thing on your label at the moment, on the East Coast, and then the hottest thing on the West Coast, Tupac, and forget it. Forget it. That's it. You're done. You're done.
All I can think about right now is how literally notorious the beef between Tupac and Biggie was. The beef never existed. They were about to start a label together. Yep. I remember, bro, what? Diddy's pissed about this. He's like, doesn't anyone have any loyalty? And then Jay-Z's like, well, that's not happening now, right? Because he knows what happened. And then Diddy starts getting suspicious of Jay-Z. And he's like, why are you telling me this? And he's like, Chris is your guy. Like, he brought you on and you're stabbing him in the back. And then Jay-Z was like, first, I'm tired
Remember when he says Chris, he's talking about Biggie.
of being his son. I need to come out from under his shadow. And then like, he's like, okay, I respect that. And then Jay-Z's like, on top of that, this guy's making that move. It should have been with me. Basically, Jay-Z's like, I want a spot. It's about ambition. I want to take his spot. And they have drinks together and kind of agree to be in cahoots together. He then talks about how she meets Kid Data Jones, who was Tupac's fiance, and is like someone in the industry. They become very good friends. And then she meets Kimora. They didn't get jealous of each other. They were truly like girlfriends. She did not become intimate with Kid Data. Kimora was too jealous for that. Kid Data knew that Kimora, Sean, and her would all hook up. Okay. Data and Pac were the greatest couple. They were just cool together, like good vibes. But Pac shooting and the suspicion surrounding Sean and Jimmy, the vibes between Kid Data and I were not always perfect. Then came that night. Award shows weren't anything new for us, but around the time they were getting ready for this award show, Kid Data was being a bit off. She asked what's up and she said nothing. And then the day of the event came. Data comes over to their table and P. Diddy's like, oh, like Bad Boy's gonna clean up tonight. And she's like, yeah, like they probably will, but like Tupac's gonna win some awards as well. And he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then she says, Sean, Tupac thinks you were involved with him getting shot. You two were so close. You need to make this right. And then he's like, why would I have anything to do with it? And she's like, can you blame him? And he's like, hell yeah, I blame him. We had a good thing going, all of us. And then he turned, he's got the balls to blame me for the shooting, blah, 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 blah. He said the way that he could lie through his teeth was like very shocking. Then Kim walks over to the table and says, the whole place is buzzing with the fact that you're sitting here accusing Sean of having Pac shot. Your guys are kind of loud. She's like, everyone knows that Sean was behind it. Because Kid Data is the daughter of Quincy Jones, who's huge in the industry, like Sean could not do shit to her, basically. So,
this is just a girl who did a deep dive into Kim Porter's book. Kim Porter, you know, the one that was with Diddy for many, many years. And she is just giving us a synopsis of everything that happened in the book. And I was very interested in this book, but I did not have the time to read it. She read it. So she's explaining to us everything that Kim Porter saw while she was with Diddy before she died, mind you. She mysteriously died after this book was written. Yeah, she's giving her book report. Thank you, Shieldwald. She's giving a book report.
Like, if anyone else had said it, she's like, this would have turned into a brawl, but like, no one can touch her. And she says to him, you're not safe in the streets, Sean.
So basically, Tupac was dating Quincy Jones's daughter. Quincy Jones and Diddy were kind of in a professional and sexual relationship. So this is just a hot mess. So so basically, the reason why Kid Data, which was Tupac's girlfriend, Quincy Jones's daughter, could say certain things to Diddy is because she was untouchable in the industry.
Think you're untouchable? And then while the girls, so Kim and Kid Data go to the bathroom, P. Diddy, there was a picture of a ginger ale on the table that Kid Data was drinking. Diddy takes the ginger ale, the pitcher, puts it under the table, and pisses into it. He pees into her ginger ale pitcher. Then he puts it back on the table. And then Kim and Kid Data come back from the bathroom. And he's just sitting there watching them, and he's making small talk. And he's like, oh, like, what songs do you think I'll get awards for? And then Kid Data pours herself a drink. Sean's bodyguard comes over to the table. I think he stopped her from drinking as everyone else just sat and watched. So Gene is the bodyguard, and he risked getting in trouble with P. Diddy to prevent it, right? Like being like, hey, don't drink that. That's insane. That's actually fucking that's insane. Next, she's talking about one of their wild nights, one of the infamous parties, right? She's like, it was threesomes. We were swapping partners. Our sex life was crazy, but I got to do things with him that I would never get to do with a straight man. And he cared about me. So, you know, it was becoming more and more obvious that he preferred men, but he did care about me. Says she wakes up in the morning and left the bedroom where she was with Jada Pinkett. And Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with Blank and Will Smith.
Okay, so at this point, they're at one of their parties, and Kim was with Jada. And Diddy comes out with Blank. They won't name this person. She never named this person in the book, but it was obviously somebody big, and Will Smith. So Diddy, Blank, and Will Smith apparently had a threesome.
Yes, Blank attended the parties from time to time. We don't know who Blank is. I could see him and Will kind of snuggled up in the bed together. I was grateful that I wasn't asked to join. I didn't really like Blank. She wanted to get back home to Quincy before he woke up, but Sean was like, no, let's have a talk. And she says she didn't really have a choice because he was getting more and more violent when he didn't get what he wanted. He didn't really want to fight, so he sat down. And as he's sitting down, this blank person comes out of the room. Sean's wearing boxers. Blank is butt naked, and Blank addressed them and said, hey, good morning. When he turned around to close the door, there was dried stuff on his back. The person came over, pulled out a chair to sit down next to them. Sean smiling, and he's like, this East Coast, West Coast beef. East Coast, West Coast beef is more lucrative than I thought, but it's getting dangerous. And then the other guy, Blank, is like, well, business first thing in the morning, like crazy. You're crazy. Like, why are we talking business right now? Blank smiles, blah, blah, blah. He says, I can't protect everybody, especially if someone is no longer going to be on my label. And
Okay, so Blank says something about I can't protect somebody that's no longer going to be on my label, so it must be a label head executive of some sort.
Blank says, Sean, are you saying what I think you're saying? And then Sean says, it's taxing on my resources to protect people. Someone that isn't 100% on my team can't get 100% of my protection. Then this Blank person says, okay, so to be clear, if something happened to someone on your team and he made quote marks with his fingers, that leaving your label anyway, it would be considered out of your.
Yeah, I think so. I think Blank, now that I'm watching this again, this is my second watch through. I am I'm wondering if it is Clive Davis. I'm wondering because he was very, very involved with Diddy, and I don't know what other exec it would be. But I think you might be right. If my books ever blow up, I'm not sure I'm going to want to engage with Hollywood for adaptations. Yeah, this gets crazier, you guys. There are more names that come up.
Control. And she's like, wait, are they talking about Biggie? Is Sean saying he won't protect Biggie anymore? She says, at this point, I was too young, too naive, too hungover to realize.
Yeah, I don't know why she wouldn't name that person because she already named Clive before in a different scenario. So I'm not sure either. I'm not sure. She did choose to protect certain people. Now, once again, as you're hearing this, it is being said that she never actually wrote this book. There, like I said, there are theories that these are notes that she took, a journal that she wrote, somebody else put this together. Irregardless, which is not a word, of all this, it's still information. How does somebody know this information? You know, I don't care who wrote it or how it came to. The information is still there.
That what they're talking about is not a lack of protection, but a hit. And she's like, where did this come from? The world was about to lose Biggie. At this point, she says to him, because she like decides she has to speak up, she's like,
and by the way, the best rapper of all time died on March 9th. Don't forget that. There's one label head I can think of. I don't remember his name. The dude is old and was deeply involved in the black music industry. He's one of the heads of the music industry and gay as fuck. I'll have to do some research. on that. It's good to know, though.
But Sean, he hasn't left yet. They're just rumors. Are you really going to let him die because of some rumors? And Diddy replied.
So at this point, everybody's getting shot or attempts on their life because there is a rumor that Biggie and Tupac are going to start a label together. We didn't even have a conversation with Biggie. He's supposed to be your best friend. You wrote a song about him. Let me tell you something. That song now, that ripoff from Sting, it hits completely differently now. And she says the same thing.
I know when I'm being betrayed, I'm not killing anyone, but I am not protecting somebody that doesn't have my back 150%. She's like, okay, maybe I can play the money card. And she's like, Sean, he's bringing in so much money. Like, you've put so much money investing into him.
Trying
like,
to
are you going to throw
defend
that
Biggie.
away? He's like, if he leaves, he takes all the money I invested into creating him. But if I can't protect him, something terrible does happen, then the money I would make off of his death would blow away all the money we made so far. And he says, he's worth more to me dead than alive. And then this blank person says, I get that. A lot of people want him dead too. Without your protection, he doesn't stand a chance in Cali. Biggie is going to die. This is crazy. I dare not say anything else about it. Then P. Diddy walks over to a safe behind a picture, pulls out a bag marked with Blank's name, turns to Blank and says, that's why you're worth your weight in gold. You understand me? Here's something for you to take care of your people. And he's like, I love you, whatever. Okay.
Wow. All right. Part four. Hang in there, kids. Hang in there, kids. It gets better.
Said that she did not write this. Some people are saying that it's
here we go.
Part 4, and before I get into it, a lot of people are saying that people around Kim Porter have come out and said that she did not write this. Some people are saying that it's like unverified. I don't think any of us are ever going to know, and that's why the FBI is doing what they're doing. But what I do want is at least to have the information, like even if it's, you know.
But it doesn't matter how we got this information. This is too specific. How do you just make stuff up? What do you say? Diddy doesn't have backs. He broke backs. Exactly. That's the thing. This is just too specific. Too specific.
Whether we find out it's true or not, I just wanted to have the information physically accessible. So I'm not sharing this saying that it's true. I'm just sharing it because this is what is in the book. Okay, she's saying at this point their relationship's not going great. He's put his hands on her.
Yes, I want to say so. And I also want to say that Diddy did come out saying he also had an island. I do have clips of that too.
Like many times. And they're on and off. So one day he calls her and he's like, hey, we've been broken up for a while this time. And then he's like, listen, I don't want anyone to know about my proclivities. And she's like, okay, so you don't want people to know about you being gay? And he like loses it. And then he says to her, when you see this in the news, it's not real. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm only doing it for the press. And she's like, doing what? And he's like, she knows what this is. She's just pretending to cover me. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, publicly, I'm going to be dating somebody else, a video girl.
See? So publicly, I'm going to be dating somebody else, a video girl. So is this all set up as well? This is such weird shit, you guys.
And it's to like protect his sexuality, I guess.
So basically, J-Lo was acting as a beard for him. So why couldn't he just stay with Kim Porter? Unless Kim was just sick of his shit. So he decides to shack up with J-Lo. Oh, maybe. Dude, who knows? That'd be scary.
They get into a huge fight, basically, and she's like, okay, you're gay. And she's like, I'm done with you. And they get off the phone. She said,
Kim's like, okay, Diddy, whatever, you're gay. Gotta go. Bye-bye now.
She was happy that Sean was out of her life. The sex parties were getting out of control. Chris is still alive, but she's like worried about him. And then she's at her house one day and Sean shows up to her house. He's like, are you waiting for someone? She's like, no. And she's like, but you're dating.
Oh, back when J-Lo was a backup dancer? Yeah, I know, exactly. She was nothing. And then what the whole theory of, oh yeah, no, you're right. It is very common, the beard thing for sure. I just didn't think Diddy was that type of person, but anyway. Josh, I wouldn't think you were gay, just looking at you hanging out with you. So, I mean, it's not like you're supposed to wear that as your personality, so I completely get it. But just the stuff that you sing about and the way that you carry yourself, like Diddy, I just didn't think that, but it doesn't matter.
Is still alive, but she's like worried about him. And then she's at her house one day and Sean shows up to her house.
So Sean shows up at Kim's house out of the blue.
He's like, are you waiting for someone? She's like, no. And she's like, but you're dating someone. I can fuck whoever I want. He loses his shit. He slams her to the ground, pulls out a big boy weapon, sits it on the end of the table, turns to her calmly and like,
oh, hi, Vex. Good to see you. I'm so glad that you had safe travels down to Tallahassee. Tell Sharpie I said hello. But thanks for checking in. I know you're busy hanging out with your husband, so I appreciate you.
Pointed at her and she's like, please stop. My son is here. Like, cut it out. And he's like, you're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you. And she's like, Sean, that's not love. But he's like, bitch, I don't care. And then he says to her, this is just for dramatic effect. I would never actually pow you. If I was going to, no one would ever trace it to me. Do you know how many people I've had to take care of over the years? It would be quiet, something in your food or in your drink, something that would never get back.
See, something in your food or your drink, something that would never get back to me. Now, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind because you're going to start to hear a lot of things come out about pneumonia. Back
to me, I would never pow you. Do you understand? Dude, if any of this is real, this is insanity. But for him to be arrested the way that he is, they must have stuff on him.
Yep.
Like this, what we're about to find out about this man, bro. After this, he leaves. He's sending flowers. He's sending expensive gifts for Quincy. She's trapped. She's like, I don't know what to do. She wants to go to authorities, but she's like, I can't go to them because.
Yeah, well, they're saying that the baby oil was actually drugs. Like there was some sort of drug solution in that baby oil. Because I think they tried to say that he got a large shipment of baby oil from Costco. Costco came out and says, we don't have that brand. And there's a lot of weird stuff about the baby oil, but It's strange, dude. This whole thing is so strange. It's fascinating. Like, this is the true crime stuff that I enjoy because of all the details. Not to say that this could be true. Oh, yes, thank you. GHB. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you, my friend.
It's like a gangster movie. Like, how high up does his power go? How high is his reach? Can anybody help me? And then she says, he found his way back to my bed. I had no choice. Then she says, the calamity that ensued behind the death of Biggie shook the East Coast. Sean could have stopped it. He was complicit in it. He was a contributor. He knew it was going to happen, and he didn't stop it. And that was his friend. The song Every Step I Take is really fucked up now. Like, genuinely fucked up. Okay, one night they're out to dinner.
Yeah, Gianna, you can tell she takes very good care of her skin. I could just tell, like, everything. I was enamored by, like, I could listen to her all day just because she's beautiful, and I just could watch her speak all day. Oh, I know. I wouldn't want to be tied into it either, for sure.
When they're back together, they're out to dinner, and Miss Wallace
this was sad.
Biggie Small's mother. And she was like, I know this isn't your problem, but things have gotten hard. I was hoping you could send some of the money that Chris made with you. Dude, this is making me really sad. Like, this is so fucked up. And then he says, that's not something I can just do. There's attorneys and accountants. Maybe I can help you with something.
You mean, like, okay, so yeah, there is, yes, that's exactly it. Every Step I Take, I was thinking about that song and a joke I could make about it. It seems me and this lady were on the same page, for sure. Yeah, that song just, it hits differently now. As far as the money, so Diddy is like, I can't do that right now because, like, the money's tied up or there's lawyers and all this stuff. Diddy had $1 gajillion. He couldn't just cut her a check for something out of his own pocket. Really? Like, even if you were not involved in the death of Biggie, he was supposed to be your best friend. You couldn't just cut her some money
to get you past the hump. And he goes into his wallet, takes out some money. He says, I haven't even seen how much Chris left. She's like, how long is this going to take? And he's like, I don't know. These things take time. I had no idea that he was withholding money from Biggie's family. And he's kind of like, it's not up to me. It's not it's up to the attorneys. I can't just give you money. She's like, you got rich off of my son. Now you're keeping all of his money. And he allegedly says, at the end of this, Chris probably owed me money. We won't know until it's all worked out. How fucked up is that? So she's going off about the money. And then at one point she literally looks at him and she says, did you kill my son?
Oof.
And she's like, answer it. And he's like, no, of course not. She's like, I don't believe you, Sean. And then Kim says, today I know he was able to muster that false sincerity because he's a sociopath, but back then I thought it was compassion. She then goes on to say, the fact of the matter is Sean was a complete control freak. She says, of all the things he's ever done for control, this would be the worst. They were in the bad boy office one evening, enjoying a meal, enjoying a cigar when Faith entered and sat down with us.
Okay, so Faith Evans was Biggie's girlfriend and the mother of their child, I believe.
Guessing it's Faith Evans. She also references that her, Faith, and Diddy had a threesome. And then
fucking everybody's banging Diddy, dude. This is disgusting.
She looks to P. Diddy and says, look, when you asked me to hook up with Chris, I understood you needed to control him. I felt honored that you would choose me to.
Okay, so what she's basically saying here is that the Faith Evans was asked to hook up with Diddy. So her little part in the song where she was so upset and she's saying, like, was this all for money? So Diddy asked Faith Evans to hook up with Sean. So Diddy asked Faith to hook up with Biggie to control him. Yes, she was. She sang the hook. She sang the hook.
Monitor one of your most valuable assets. Chris is sweet. And then he's like, I knew that you would be good at it. Make that man feel loved, whatever. And she's like, I don't feel good about this. And then she says, Chris and I had a child together. And he's like, I'm going to take care of you. Like, you don't need Chris. And then she says he didn't have to die. So now Kim is like, does she know about this? And then he's like, no, he didn't. He's like, don't get me wrong. I miss him, but he was leaving me anyway. Nobody cares about my pain.
See, so Diddy was basically telling Faith, hi, good to see you. You are new here. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thank you. So basically, Faith was like, yeah, he didn't have to die. And Diddy was like, yeah, he didn't. I miss him too, but
be good at it. Make that man feel loved, whatever. And she's like, I don't feel good about this. And then she says, Chris and I had a child together.
Listen.
And he's like, I'm going to take care of you. Like, you don't need Chris. And then she says he didn't have to die. So now Kim is like, does she know about this? And then he's like, no, he didn't. He's like, don't get me wrong, I miss him, but he was leaving me anyway. Nobody cares about my pain.
So nobody cared the fact that Biggie was going to leave Diddy's record label and that we should feel sympathetic for him. Okay.
And then he says, I wanted to share all of this with him. He was my man. And Faith is pissed. And she's like, Sean, you have your friends that you share things with, but Chris had no one. He only had you. And then he loses his mind. He's like, that fat fuck, the other pieces of blah, blah, blah. Like, so Sean loses it. And he's like, that fat fuck and the other piece of shit that I had you fuck. And then Kim is like, wait.
That other piece of shit I had you fuck? Who are they talking
Hold on.
about?
And she's like, you had her hooking up with Pac? And then he's like, yeah, Pac as well, because the two of them were going to start their own label.
So he had Faith Evans have sex with Biggie and Tupac? Jeez Louise.
And compete with me after everything I did for them. Like, no way. And then Faith is like crying. And then like he's upset and she's comforting him. And he's like, how am I the bad guy? Like, I didn't do anything but bust my ass to make everyone live comfortably, blah, blah, blah.
Wow. I think this is where names starting to get names start coming out. But holy crap, everybody was just banging everybody. Wow. Okay, here we go. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I didn't share the screen. My apologies. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Sorry.
This book and the accusations that are coming from it are insane because they're at home one night. Quincy is staying with a friend. They're having alone time and someone rings the doorbell. And who was at the door but none other than Jennifer Lopez. Please let me go on record. This is just a summary of the book that Kim Porter wrote about P. Diddy. We don't know if it's true because she's unfortunately passed away. I'm just reading what is written here, okay? So J-Lo's pissed and she's like, Sean, what the fuck? Why the hell did you have to start shooting? Isn't that what we have bodyguards for? And so Kim's kind of like, what's going on? And then J-Lo explodes and she's like, what's going on? This guy shot up a club. And Sean's like, calm down. And J-Lo's like, calm down. You shot a bunch of innocent people, Sean.
Okay, so there was a shooting in, I want to say 1999 at a club. And this is where Diddy was involved, but just, yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, unfortunately passed away. Yeah, you'll hear. Okay.
Sean. She mentions at this point, P. Diddy like puts his arm on J-Lo and he's like, calm down. And she's like, this is something he does to try to like manipulate us. And then she says, why do you think Biggie's replacement will take the fall for you? And then Kim's like, Biggie's replacement? Like, could she be talking about like, and then she says, are you talking about Shine?
Okay, so I guess there was a rapper back after Biggie passed away named Shine. I don't know if anybody in the chat is familiar with Shine. I've never heard of Shine before. Not one bit. So I don't understand. Like, you decided to get rid of Biggie and bring up this guy Shine that nobody's ever heard about. All right, cool. So just pay attention that Biggie's replacement was Shine. And
then J-Lo's like, yeah, Shine. I'm going to be real. I have no idea who Shine is. Never heard of him. Just Googled him. I don't think he ever got very big. And then she says that somebody contacted her attorney for a statement. So she's like, this is not under control, dude. Like, because
basically there was a club, there was a shooting. Biggie, Puff Daddy, and J-Lo were there. So of course everybody's being questioned. J-Lo's being questioned, yada yada.
Witness, and you're not going to get away with it. So I guess like the shooting in the club, they're going to try to put it on Shine. And she's like, what if halfway through his sentence he starts talking? She's like, no one's going to be that loyal to you. And he's like, I won't do that. And then J-Lo's like, so you're going to kill him too? Bro, how many people know about this? And he's like, don't worry, Shine is smart and loyal. He knows that it's going to pay off like when he gets to the end of this. Is this true? Yeah, it's true. Shine, a former protege of Combs, was sentenced in 2001 to 10 years in jail for an assault conviction stemming from a 1999 nightclub shooting in New York that involved Combs and his then girlfriend J-Lo. Bro, what? Combs was acquitted in the widely publicized case. Did I live under a rock? I've never.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
J-Lo's like, they want to question me. I'm not perjuring myself. I'm not going to go to jail over this. And J-Lo's like, how do you know? And he's like, well, he's going to confess. And then the witnesses are going to confirm. So they won't need anything else. And then he's like, all we need is a statement from your attorney. And J-Lo's like, my attorney's great, but he's not going to like blatantly lie. Like he won't do this. And then P. Diddy's like, yeah, he will. And then Kim's like, you were going to make Shine the label's go-to man. What are you going to do now? And he's like, artists with his talent are a dime a dozen. And then she says he tried to make a threesome happen that night and it didn't happen.
Like a threesome with J-Lo. See, you have all this stuff going on and you still want to do all that. So he was trying to get Kim and J-Lo to do a threesome with him.
Yeah, and I know all this is alleged, but like, are we going to pretend that Usher didn't delete like 600 tweets last night? Like, I feel as though what's more likely that this has happened and that the people around Kimporter are scared for their lives and saying that it's not true.
Yeah. You know what? People who did put this together might be trying to protect themselves. I 110% believe that this is true. I really do. You can't make shit up like this. It gets even worse. There's no way that you can make stuff up like this. I'm sorry. It's too detailed.
Or that it's not true. What do you think is actually more likely here? So then she finds out she's pregnant with P. Diddy's baby.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this gets so disgusting. She's still hot, Shieldwald. She is still hot. She is aging very, very, very well. Absolutely. She's still hot. Rap culture is terrible in so many ways. We're just learning how deep it goes. Oh, deep. Yeah. Okay, you guys, what he has her do when she's pregnant and why is absolutely disgusting.
Baby. She's immediately like, I'll get rid of it. Like, she's afraid he's going to be mad, but he's actually super hype. And he calls his bestie, Will Smith, immediately to tell him. She's like, I was in shock. He wasn't mad. Damn, this fucking poor woman. And then he's like, oh, we're going to do like a gender reveal party, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, we're going to do all the parties, but everyone is going to want to sleep with you right before you give birth. And she's like, everyone's going to want to what? And he's like, well, yeah, like a lot of people, like Will, Jada, the blank person from earlier. And she's like crying. And she's like, I don't want that. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I never ask anything of you, but I need you to do this. Cause like, I don't know, it's like hot to hook up with a pregnant person. Like it's for like a spiritual thing, like some sort of like spiritual ceremony or something involving a pregnant. She's like, but I don't believe in all this spiritual crazy shit. Like we got here because you're brilliant, not because of the sex parties. And he's like, do you trust me? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, then let's just do what we got to do to keep having what we have. Like, so like, the sex parties are also like spiritual, weird Illuminati stuff.
Yep.
She says that.
Like basically they wanted to suck the soul. Yes. Truth is stronger than fiction, but fiction is based on truth. Good point. Yes. By spiritual, they mean satanic. So they wanted to like almost like suck the soul out of the baby. Not Kevin Hart, just because there was a video that I saw where Diddy was standing with, oh my gosh, another celebrity, and they were talking about sleep, like something about being in their own bed or when they wake up in the morning, and it was really uncomfortable, and Kevin Hart was really uncomfortable with it. So I don't think it's Kevin Hart, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't think it's Kevin Hart, but I always wonder what the slap by Chris Rock had to do. I'm not sure.
Night I cried myself to sleep. I was going to be at 9 months pregnant. My child is going to have a good biblical name. They're not going to take his soul.
See, like, not going to take his soul. Yeah, he wasn't in this one video of them. They played it or clipped it because they could see how uncomfortable Kevin Hart was when there was when it was insinuated that these two men, Diddy and gosh, I can't remember who the other guy was. I don't think it was Jay-Z at the time, had a sleepover together. Was it Usher? It might have been Usher. But anyway, Kevin Hart was really, really uncomfortable, and they did make a big, production out of how uncomfortable he was.
I don't know how this managed to stay out of the media for so long, but Sean got to the point where he was so abusive and only his inner circle knew about it. Apparently she did some acting and she had like coffee with the producer, and the producer sent flowers to the house and said like in a card, like, it was so nice to meet you, we should do it again. He freaks out and like smacks the shit out of her, and he's like, you've had my baby, you can't do anything without me knowing. And she's like, it was just a producer. And he's like, who's this producer? Throwing shit, flipping tables. And then he hits her with the chair. He takes a chair and hits her with it. She doesn't remember anything. She wakes up in a hospital room, her arms in a cast, hanging from a sling, her face hurts, eyebrows in immense pain.
Oh, well, hello, sir. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you're doing well. So she's all beat to shit now because she met with a producer and he sent her flowers.
Yeah. And when she wakes up, Sean is there with her. He's like, I'm sorry. She's like, get away from me. And she's like, save it for the lawyers, that they're in a private room. So even if she like screams, who's going to help her? He's like, stay away from my kids, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're going to use the kids against me. And then he goes, tell them what? That you had a car accident? They'll pity you that you hit your head. He was going to make her look crazy. He spent the next 6 months helping her heal, working his way back into her life and into her bed. She said, I was so stupid. Girl. And then it says, from what I understand, the producer died of pneumonia.
Okay. Yes, Cannoli, I have the ring light on. It's just weird because I have to be like over. See, if I'm over here, I'm light. Over here, I'm dark. Isn't that weird? See how it picks me up? Anyway, he just texted me and asked if I had my ring light on. Okay, so just listen real quick. The producer died of pneumonia. Pneumonia. Okay? Just keep that. Tuck that right in your hat. Producer died of pneumonia. Okay.
I have chills. Next chapter starts. Sean kept his word for the most part until he didn't. She ended up pregnant again.
Oh, I don't know who the producer was. It was just some producer that had met with Kim about some acting or whatever, sent her flowers. That's why Diddy beat the shit out of her. And then the producer 6 months later died of pneumonia. Yes, that's what I was going to bring back around because I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. This isn't a rabbit hole, degenerative insanity hell pit. Exactly. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay.
He wanted energy from that too. So I guess that's what they were doing. Like,
Okay. Whoa. Hold on a second. Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. I think it is the light is having a hard time. You know what? I should probably get like something black to put behind those windows when I stream. I'm going to look into that. But you're right. Hold on a second. Let's go back. What did I miss here? Hold on one second.
And then it says, from what I understand, the producer died of pneumonia.
Okay.
I have chills. Next chapter starts. Sean kept his word for the most part until he didn't. She ended up pregnant again. He wanted energy from that too. So I guess that's
So he wanted energy from that baby as well.
what they were doing, like gang banging a pregnant person to take the energy of the baby. He was like, this is going to be my last party. Okay. Like my body's never going to do this. Like not allow so many people to do this to my body again. She says, whenever I tried dating somebody else, they would end up dead from pneumonia.
Okay. Did you hear that? Anytime she would end up dating somebody, they would mysteriously die of pneumonia. Okay.
Dude, have we fact checked this? She says she has a plan, but it's dangerous. He has a vault where he keeps the videotapes of all of his conquests. I started sleeping with him again, and after he falls asleep, I would go into the vault, take some of the tapes, make copies, swap them, etc. Took her weeks to do this, but she finally has them all, and this is her way out. I think this is the part that you guys have mostly been waiting for. Some of the tapes had things I would have never expected.
Here we go.
The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys, like Usher, little.
Ready? Here it goes. This is what we've been waiting for. Listen up, kids.
Parties are one thing, but the young boys, like Usher, Little Bow Wow, and Justin Bieber. Oh my God.
Little Bow Wow, too.
She literally said the name. She said the name. I thought it was going to be X'd out for sure. I thought for sure. Oh.
Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yes, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. You had a feeling Bow Wow was involved. Who's Bow Wow's dad again? Isn't he somebody in the industry? Next time, Sassy, check out all overdose incidents and hanging from the doorknob. This is some deep shit. Aaron Carter overdose. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I will. I don't think she thought.
Sorry,
Oh.
And then she said, is he grooming Quincy also, her son? I cannot believe.
Oh, Big Bow Wow. Hold on. There's one more part.
That name is typed out in letters.
I don't think she thought that they would put that, put Justin Bieber's name in there. Okay, let's see. Part 6. Last part, you guys. Last part. This is a deep dive, I told you, but it's really fascinating. Really fascinating. And then I'll show you the Brittany Murphy thing in a second that my friend kind of figured out.
Part 6, and I just want to say, like, this isn't a fairy tale. Like, this is, as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh yeah, like, this is a crazy story. It's not a crazy story. Half the people in this story are still alive and living, you know? So like, okay, just had to say that. So where we left off, she made copies of everything, of all the videos of him and all these people. And so she invites him over one day to confront him and to break up with him. Kimora is there when this is happening. So he walks into the house and she's like, we're done. And he's like, excuse me. And she's like, we're done. And he's like, no, no, no. And she's like, I have the footage, Sean. And he starts looking confused. And he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, and then Kim says, Usher too. And then he's like, wait, what the fuck is going on? He's getting pissed. And Kimora's like, don't make me call the cops. And then kimporter says, if anything happens to either of us, it gets released. He starts to walk out of the house. And then he turns and lunges at her. And he knocks her down near the top of the stairs. As he began to crouch over me, I kicked him, hitting him in the kneecap and then his face. He went tumbling down the stairs. He was too hurt to get up. I called the cops. Kim left before they arrived. When he left, it was in an ambulance. I want to quickly fact check this. Turns out Googling Sean Combs and hospitalized doesn't give you the results that you want because there's too many. She says, after this, things were okay for a while.
Oh, hello, Soja Boy. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Free Diddy. Okay. All right.
While she started dating someone, got serious, and then he died of pneumonia.
Oh, did you hear that? Kimporter started dating somebody serious. He died of pneumonia.
Dude, she says when this happened, when her most recent ex-boyfriend passed from pneumonia, she knew it was him, and that's when she decided to write this book. She says
Hi, friend. My son, there's some kind of poison that looks like pneumonia. I'm not going to look it up. Yeah, we probably shouldn't. See, I get scared about looking stuff up. Wow. That's interesting. I'm going to look up something with Brittany Murphy next. Speaking of Soja Boy, he was another one of Diddy's bedmates. Maybe. I don't know.
her home was robbed. Laptops were stolen, and she knows that it's him trying to find the.
So there was a. So basically, her house was robbed because Diddy was looking for all the stuff that Kim made copies of.
Copy of all these videos, but she has them stored in the cloud. And she says she's going to send copies of this out to people with her Google Drive passwords.
This is serious shit. So she's going to send out all of this stuff with her Google passwords if anything would should happen to her. No, I did not see what happened in Georgia. Maybe I did, but let me know what you're talking about. Ryson, maybe.
So that way the missing chapters can be accessed, that this has to get out. There's so many more chapters to add. And then she says she's not feeling very well. She called Kimora to cancel plans. And when she spoke to her, Kimora says, "Girl, that doesn't sound like the flu. You want to go to the hospital?" And she was like, "That didn't immediately alarm me. I just need some rest. But why can't I get my doctor? Why won't her doctor pick? She can't get her doctor on the phone." So she eventually just calls Sean himself because she needs help. On the phone, he says to her, "I have your kids." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "The kids are with me." And so she's like, "Did you ever love me?" And he replies and says, "The most important thing to me in the world is loyalty." And then she says he puts on a fake voice and he's like, "Kim, is something wrong? This is sick." Now she's saying, I shouldn't have threatened him. I should have just published the book. She's like, "I'm going to die like Heavy D, like Biggie, like Pac, like so many others."
Heavy D? Interesting.
And then before hanging up, she says, "That's not the only copy, you fuck." And then she shot out a group text to let everyone know he got me. And then I called 911.
Oh, I feel really bad for Justin Bieber. He was way taken advantage of at a very, very early age. And I don't think, I understand what you're saying here, but but this is 6 parts of it. And the information is way too descriptive. It's way too detailed for some of it, for it to be fake. I don't know. there's too many details to say it's fake. But yeah, Justin Bieber, I feel so bad for him. Because he definitely was taken advantage of and had nobody good looking out for him, and probably thought he had to do what he had to do to get further in the business.
As I sit here waiting for the ambulance, I'm writing this chapter and praying that I make it to the hospital. I don't feel like writing anymore. I may not be around to see it print. It's okay. I'm sending it out. He won't get away with this. I will have my say, my final words. Sean Combs will get exposed, even if I lose my life doing it. My kids have always been my most cherished possessions. I want the world to know that. But more importantly, I want them to know. I think that's just how it ends. Okay.
Yeah, no, I get that. He did put Bieber on the map, but at what cost? Usher had a hand in it too. There was a lot of people put on the map, but there was a lot of people taken off the map too. And I don't know when you tuned into this stream, but if you go back and you start listening from part 1 of this, it's hard to argue that this is not true. It's hard to argue with just all of the details. There's so many details and specifics of what was said and what was done. It's really, really hard. It's really hard to ignore it. People have been saying stuff about Diddy for years. It's his entire reputation. Yeah, they have. And Diddy has made some backhanded comments too.
That's a lot. That's a lot. As I said, we don't know if this is true or not. The only people who will know it's true are the people involved, but there's clearly a stack of evidence against this person for him to be in the position that he's in right now.
Yep.
I'm inclined to believe that it's more likely to be true than not. And if it is,
my whole thing is that if it wasn't true, then what do they have? Why do they have him locked up? Like, obviously there was some pertinent information. He put Diddy on the map, so passing him around is totally fine, guys. Yeah, I just, Diddy opinions are like assholes. I want someone to eat my opinions. This is too specific.
Not a jail sentence, a prison sentence long enough for, I mean, oh my God. And like, there's a lot of like loose ends, like in the book, Pac is still alive, but like, we know that he isn't, right? And like that stuff with Jay-Z, like it's just alluded to. Like there's clearly a lot more that we don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not good at words right now. I feel like I'm kind of.
Okay. So that's the end of that. And then, so, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. It's just made up, but it was for sure not written by a modern Hollywood or Disney writer. That's for sure. Those hacks can't string 2 words together. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. I want to share this then to you guys. 1 second. Share this tab instead. Okay. So you have to do what you were told by the heads of the music industry or you get nowhere. It doesn't matter what it is. The heads will own your soul and get you nothing. You know, I mean, if you look at the life Justin Bieber has had, some of his songs, what he says, that's why, like, it's so interesting. People are like, well, why did Usher and Pink, which I need to know Pink's involvement. That is really strange. But people are like, oh, why did they delete all of these tweets? From years ago. Well, if you start looking at people's tweets from years ago and put it to the current situation, it's a little weird. Like Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, they have some really weird tweets that I would say coincide with the Epstein thing. So if you look right here, I mean, look at, okay, so there was a, connection with them, but they did a movie together, and her and Diddy were friends. So she mysteriously died of pneumonia too. So I'm really dying to know if there was a connection. People are starting to wonder, is Diddy involved in Brittany Murphy's death? How weird is it that she mysteriously dies of pneumonia? It's just strange. I'd say it's more possible they were embellishments to the story, but an outright lie, nah. Yeah, I don't think it was an outright lie at all. I do believe it can be a mix of truth and lies. That's how most stories are anyway. I agree, but I do feel like the details the details are really something that they need to look into. Look at Pink. She just deleted hundreds, if not thousands of tweets. I want to know why. I want to know why she deleted the tweets. I would not think, you can't put it past anybody, but yes, anybody. Okay, if anybody dies of pneumonia, just, we know who did it for sure. The whole Brittany Murphy passing was wild. Liked her voice acting in The King of the Hill. That's what I'm saying, you guys. It was mysterious. And then also then her boyfriend mysteriously passes away. Ashton Kutcher was with Diddy, and there was a lot of things he couldn't tell about the Diddy parties. It came up on Hot Ones where he couldn't. Let me see if COVID was a godsend for Diddy. Let me see if I can find something real quick, you guys. YouTube. Hold on. I want to see something. There was an interesting. Hold on. Let me see. Diddy on Conan. Hold on. Let me see if I can play this. Okay. Oh, this is it right here. This was pretty concerning too. Let's look at this real quick. Share this tab instead. Here we go. Listen to this. This was back. 2002. Oh, hold on a second. It says, I don't know if you guys can do the audio. Hold on. Let me try this again. Stop sharing. We'll share again. Hold on. Present, share screen. Here we go. All right. Let's try this again. Make sure.
They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. No. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Yeah. See? That, no. New. Oh, 10 disturbing Diddy interviews because of what we know now. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so let me ask you something. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but you really don't think Diddy is responsible for anything he's being accused of? You don't think anything? Like, I really encourage you, not because it's my stream. I could care less. I want you to go back and listen to what that girl said of Kim Porter's book. I don't understand how you don't think there's any truth to him being disgusting like this. I'm just curious. Yeah, Enzo, he was kind of not a good person. I know. All right, let's see what this says.
To the forefront, the way this one has come out.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo. And today, we're rewinding several interviews that retroactively left us asking, what did Diddy say?
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
I think there are some people piling on him for money, but there's where there's smoke, there's fire, or there's truckloads of baby oil. Come here. You're not going out right now. Yeah, I just I just don't know how you could defend this guy. There's way too much.
Representing The Wendy Williams Show.
Thank you. Gotcha. We are not going to watch Mojo. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you. I wouldn't even have thought about that. I would have thought that was okay. So we're not going to watch that today. Oh, what is going on here? All right, we're done. No, watch Mojo. Hopefully what I did for 2 seconds will not hit me. Let's see what else I have. I know I had other stuff. Oh, you're right. Especially the video of him beating the shit out of Cassie, which was his girlfriend. You're right. That was probably all fabricated too. You're right. Yes, good catch, McMuffin. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you. All right, let's get rid of these. I know I had a couple of other things here. I don't even think we're going to get into the Menendez brothers today. Let's look at this real quick. Watch Mojo dies of pneumonia 2 days later. All right, I got this one too. Oh, where's the... Why doesn't... Oh, well, there we go.
Completely finished, you guys. Did you guys just see that Pink and Usher deleted their entire X feed? So here's the #1 rule when you're not trying to look suspicious. Don't look suspicious. Don't do this shit. Now, Usher is really close to Diddy, and then this is Pink's feed. She deleted about 7,000 tweets, and he deleted about 4,000. Now, you're asking yourself, why would Pink and Usher do this? That's because they're all linked through Arista, which is founded by Clive Davis, which was the same record label that Bad Boy was a part of, Bad Boy Arista. I mean, it's pretty telling that Elon reposted this old tweet saying, Twitter is both a social media company and a crime scene. He just posted that today. So being that he has all the backlogs, he knows what's about to happen. This reminds me of all those old tweets that Chrissy Teigen put out and then deleted. She had wild shit like this saying,
see, she had wild stuff that she posted a while ago. I don't know when these were, but she put accidentally went to children's aquarium looking pretty pedo bearish, cruising the parking lot. Seeing little girls do the splits half naked is just, I want to put myself in jail. And then she put hashtag toddlers and tiaras. Kelly Clarkson had some things to say about Clive Davis. Interesting. I'm going to have to look into that. And Dirty Jersey, I think what I might do is get some more stuff together about the Menendez brothers and maybe talk about it next week, since I just did finish the series. And I'll look into the Clive Davis. Gord King, Diddy not even convicted of any of these allegations yet. So chill ya beans. Convicted. He hasn't been convicted, but the evidence doesn't look too good, in my opinion. When you're federally indicted like that, remember, people, when your DMs are not private Twitter, and probably the NSA have them all. Yeah, I will. I think I will, because there's a lot. And like I said, I wanted to make sure I had good information on that as well. I didn't know how much of this stream we would take up on Diddy, but I had a lot more than I thought. So that's good. Anyway, here we go.
Seeing little girls do the splits half naked is just...
Oh, excuse me. Let me stop. This is... OJ wasn't convicted either, but... And that's interesting because he was in a little part of him was in the Monsters situation.
I want to put myself in jail. What? Then she said, I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid, so on and so forth. Now, I'm about to get in my conspiracy bag just for a little bit, but isn't it weird that Diddy, that his songs, his lyrics, his album titles, they all show you what he's doing. So it says in this song, Let's Get It, send the cops, the feds, the DA to come get me. Cats want to leave me for dead. You coming with me. That says, if I'm going down, you're coming too. I mean, just look at his album titles. No Way Out, Forever, The Saga Continues. Press play is what you would do to show somebody that they're getting blackmailed. Now, this one is really interesting. The Love album, Off the Grid. Did you guys know that this man has an island called Love Island, and he even mentions getting off the grid?
Yeah, I have an island. This is just for inspirational motivation. I got an island. It's called Love Island. So when I took you to Love, favorite time that I took you off the grid.
When you're going off the grid with me, you got to go to sleep for a week.
Yeah, because it's definitely giving us sleep.
Now, in that clip, he was talking to his old girlfriend, Young Miami. She even did a post back in 2022 saying, it's my effing birthday, location, Love Island. We don't know where this island is or if he owned half of it or all of it, but this is something to bookmark. And the cherry on top is that all these record label CEOs are just exiting left and right.
Okay, so I guess people are stepping down. Entertainment CEO, Warner Brothers, Japan, Warner Music Japan president and CEO is to step down. Sony Music Nashville chairman Randy Goodman to step down. Interesting. There was a Black Rob and Diddy song years ago, Let's Get It, where Diddy cut the line, not guilty, plus I'm filthy. Sheesh. I don't know. That's a good question too. Shieldwald.
Stepping down from their positions. Mark my words. This will be the biggest fall in Hollywood history. Yo, Hollywood.
There you go. There, him, and then here was another one that I thought was interesting.
Finally arrested the diddler. Now, the amount of people that have eyes on this is nothing short of amazing. But people need to understand that
there's a lot of connections here, and so I want you to see the connections.
Diddy and all these other celebrities are the bottom of the barrel. They all have people they look up to and that tell them what to do. And I'm going to give you an example of that right now. For entertainment value, of course, because I know absolutely nothing. I'm just making this stuff up. Now, I'm sure most of us can agree that this man didn't really have what it took to be as successful as he was. So who helped him? Well, let me introduce you to his sugar daddy, Ronald Berkeley. Now, Ron here is not only co-owner of the professional hockey team, the Penguins, but he was also the reason that Diddy's clothing line, Sean John, was even a thing. In fact, Diddy even asked him to be a co-owner. Now, these two were not only business partners, but they were such good friends that Diddy even threw some of his parties at Ronnie's estate.
Oh, look who is there. Kanye West, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Leonardo DiCaprio. We've got Vin Diesel and oh my gosh, I can't remember his name in the back. Anyway.
Oh, and did I mention this is the same guy that owns Neverland Ranch?
So the guy that he's really, really good friends with owns Neverland Ranch. It's just...
But anyway, see, Diddy wasn't Ron's only famous friend. He had another one that maybe you've heard of. His name was Jeffrey Epstein.
There's your connection. So Ron Burke, keeping it all in the family. Exactly. So yes, Sean Diddy Combs owns 2 homes on Star Island in Miami Beach. So that's what he refers it to. Okay. So anyway, Ron Burkle, who was really, really cozy with Diddy, was also named in the Epstein case because they were very good friends.
No, not only was Ron all over the court documents.
Suggest billionaire grocery store, had knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's activities. Oh, he's a grocery store I can't even say that word. Diddy has a sick amount of money banking on Chris Wallace as a springboard for his media empire. Yep.
But he also appeared in Epstein's Little Black Book.
You know what? I think that there is a separate issue with Paul Walker, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, all those people that mysterious. Oh my gosh, who is the Kate Spade? All the people that were found around a door that unalived themselves. I think that was related, but not. And I think it was sex trafficking stuff. But I do think all of those were suspicious as well.
And if that wasn't bad enough, old Ron had another longtime friend. Maybe he looks familiar to you.
And there's the other connection.
Yep. Old Bill himself.
Okay, so Bill got $15 million from Ron Burkle, who was friends with... Yeah, I know. It was really shady. But also, Chester Bennington, like the people that are surrounding that, like the family, it just didn't add up them to unalive themselves. But yes, Paul Walker's was really, really shady. Burkle flew with Clinton on an Africa trip, though he's quoted as to saying that Epstein was creepy after everything came to light. Of course, he's going to say that after. So anyway, this Ron Burkle, what did Bill Clinton do to get $15 million from Ron Burkle?
Who we all know was another frequent flyer to Epstein Island. You know what? I was going to end the video here, but let's talk about another one of his friends, Ashton Kutcher.
This is interesting.
See, Ashton made a ton of money by investing in Uber and Airbnb before they were even successful. And he did it through his investment company, A-Grade Investments. And who was one of his partners?
Oh, right there. Ron Burkle. Interesting.
Ron Berkeley. It's funny how all that works, ain't it?
Ashton Kutcher, who sought legacy for convicted rapists, resigns from sex trafficking prevention organization. I cannot allow my error in judgment to distract from our effects and the children we serve. Ooh.
And if you ask me, with Ron having things like his own plane that he calls
Air F1, we all know what the F word stands for.
This guy's just as bad as Epstein. Y'all stay safe.
Very interesting. And then there's one more connection. You guys thought that I have to share it again. Just a moment. You guys all thought that Kanye was nuts. Kanye is not the issue. Oh, Air Force. I get it. Thank you. I know that is that's crazy. All right, this right here. So you guys, everybody thought Kanye was nuts. No, he probably is in a couple of different senses, but Kanye tried to tell us everything we needed to know about Diddy. Listen to this. This was very interesting.
Kanye told us everything about.
Okay, no, I have to pull this up. 1 second. Where's the volume? It's a little low, so if you guys need to pull up your volume, I apologize. But here, listen.
Kanye told us everything about Diddy. So a couple years ago when Kanye was going on his rants, as everybody was calling them, he was literally telling us everything that we needed to know about Diddy. Kanye told us that Corey Gamble was a plant and he was first working for Diddy. And I can never skip the fact that Corey Gamble was at Kim Porter's house when she passed away. And mind you, Kim Porter did not share this house with Diddy. They were not even together during this time. And then Kanye said Corey Gamble went to Justin Bieber to be...
Oh, there's little Bow Wow, right? Isn't that little Bow Wow in the picture?
Your tour manager after working for Diddy. We all know the rumors about Justin Bieber and Diddy. I don't even have to get into that, but it's super weird that you end up from Diddy to Justin Bieber. And then he explained this is when Corey Gamble got with Kris Jenner. And we know that Kris Jenner and Diddy have been seen together on multiple different occasions. Kanye even listed the names of people who had to do whatever they were told, naming Jay-Z and Beyonce and Diddy. He also named Meek Mills and Lil Boosie, and he said the reason that these people have to listen to whatever they're told and pull on Kanye's coattail while he was outing everything so publicly is because they unalived people. He even posted the text messages on his Instagram to Diddy. Didn't like our combo. I'm selling these teas. And at the end, he said, come do something illegal to me, please. Diddy actually texted back kind of crazy saying, send me an address. Let's stop playing these internet games and don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love. And during all of these rants, he was talking about people who got off.
Who said something about Aaron Carter? Is that not Aaron Carter?
In the industry like Michael Jackson, Prince, and even Aaron Carter.
There you
the
go.
rumor being spread is Aaron Carter was about to out everything happening in Hollywood.
And he died of a suspicious overdose. There you go. There, you guys were right making that connection.
And weirdly enough, before Aaron Carter passed away, he actually said on Twitter, yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man.
Wow, I
and
didn't
this
know
was
that.
still during the same time that Kanye was being very publicly spoken about what was happening in Hollywood. And then recently, Kanye did an IG Live a couple months ago and literally said exactly what happened to Aaron Carter.
They follow me to the fucking hotel. The nigga killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the Backstreet Boy sample. You get what I'm saying? Harley passing that pusher. Your trainer. Harley passing that, Jay-Z.
And then Kanye literally mentions Jay-Z's name like he had a part in it. Everybody is saying that Jay-Z is going to go down right next to Diddy, and all of this shit with Kanye is so crazy. And if you add everything that he has said together, it's literally connecting the dots to what we're seeing play out with Diddy right now.
You know, I don't know if I skipped a part, but there was a part in the book where they talked about how Jay-Z and Diddy had a hand in unaliving Aaliyah and putting her on that plane, and she had a really bad headache and they gave her some like Tylenol, but it actually put her out, and they carried her unconscious onto the plane. But she had her reservations about going on the plane. It was 700 pounds over the limit, and the pilot was only 2 days out of the pilot program and wasn't really trusted at all. So there was a lot of things, but there's also allegations that Diddy and his group had something to do with unaliving Aaliyah. I mean, that's always been a speculation that that was a suspicious death, but now it's coming out that because there, you know, she was competition, or Jay-Z wanted to have Beyonce come up, you know, over Aaliyah. There's a lot of speculation. So yeah, that's the Diddy scandal for today. The P Diddy stuff. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I think that's all I have for now. Yeah, that's all I have. Jet Li took out Aaliyah. All right. I guess that's all for today. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. That was some insane stuff, right? Very insane. I appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout that. I wasn't sure if playing somebody else's clips like that would be, oh, check your Twitter, Mrs. C. Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where's my Twitter? Is that my, nope, that's my TikTok. Hold on one second. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Oh, is this it? Oh my gosh. Hold on a second, you guys. Hold on. If this is it, I've got to make this. Hold on. I think this is it. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
Please do not get me started. Now I'm getting emotional. I'm a little verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. There it passed. Please.
And then sometimes they go, I'm very verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me give you a topic. Lima beans and sugar. All right, I have got to clip that out. Thank you so much for sharing that, because let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. Stop sharing screen. Okay. Thank you. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, I was reacting to them. So yeah, I just figured that there was a lot of information in there. Here's a little worm for you. Also look at people who were in car crashes. They crashed, go to rehab, come back. They're not the same person. I know, it was so mad. I'll mail it to Cannoli later so we can download. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, you guys. So I just want to thank everybody for today. Alec Baldwin with your 50 gifted memberships. Thank you as always. I appreciate you. Whitey for my 350, and Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips for the 3-month membership. I appreciate it. And dude, he did. He did. Oh my God. This could get endless. This could get endless. Thank you for stopping by. You were new here. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you. Yeah, watch out for that baby oil. Okay, let me do a couple of plugs. So tomorrow night on MMM, they are reviewing the deluxe edition of The Long Halloween. I just watched it last night. I have also read the comic. It was my first comic book that I ever read. I enjoyed it. So Yeah, stay tuned. It'll get a lot crazier. It sure will. So hang out tomorrow with the MMM crew. It's a stacked panel tomorrow night. So 6:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Cannoli Sasquatch's channel. And then I will be back next Sunday. I'm not sure what the content is going to be. If I'm going to do a deep dive into the Menendez brothers, I'm not sure. Or will there be more with the P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, PD, aka Love Daddy? I don't know who he is anymore. But I'll have more next week. I appreciate you guys as always. And let me find my outro before I say, as always, stay sassy. Bye, you guys.
It's a Sassy Sunday stream. Like and subscribe and share it out to your team.